Hello, this is Mrs. Morgan. Over the next few slides, I'm going to go through how you can get some support to help you with your science mock exams that are coming up in November. Just to give you some guidance first off, you will be doing mock paper 1, which means if you're studying triple science, you will do a biology, chemistry and physics paper, and each paper is going to be 1 hour 45 minutes. If you're doing combined science, again, you will do one paper in biology, chemistry and physics. This time your paper is 1 hour 15 minutes. Looking at your revision topics, you can see below the key areas that are covered in paper 1. So for instance, biology, you need to go back to your year 9 and start of year 10 work, which will have been cell biology, organisations, infection and response and bioenergetics. If you look in your revision guide, it will break these down for you in more detail. When we look at chemistry, atomic structure and periodic table, bonding, quantitative chemistry, chemical changes and energy changes. And again, they will be in your revision guide, broken down in more detail as to the subjects that are covered. For physics, energy, electricity, particle model of matter and atomic structure. So if you have access to your revision guide still that you would have brought in year 9, these will be listed in the front cover, and then you can use your index in your revision guide to look at the specific topics. If you need any more guidance on what's in each of these topics, then by all means ask a member of staff to show you the revision guide, and then you can take down a list, or we can provide you with a checklist of specific details. You will also get access to an online textbook for each of your sciences. So for instance, if you're doing triple science, you'll get access to a biology, a chemistry and a physics book. If you're combined science, you'll get access to just the one book because that will cover all your topics. Each student will have access to this online textbook via a facility called Dynamic Learning. Myself will create an account for you and give you access to these online textbooks that you need. Each student as well will also receive an exam workbook from school to allow you to practice your exam questions techniques and revision. And you might find that some staff will use these books as specific home learning tasks for you to do, knowing that you've got access to the textbooks online. Other revision resources that you can use, so BBC Bitesize is very good for video links and short answer questions. If you wanted to look at past papers, you can go to the AQA website, which is our awarding body, and look at past papers and mark schemes. If you're more of a visual learner and you'd rather watch some resources, then we suggest you go onto YouTube and subscribe to Fuse School or Cognito. If you know that you need a bit more support with your maths, then there's a good STEM link to enable you to develop math skills, especially for your triple sciences. And across the school, obviously we use GCSE Pod, which you should have access to video links. And then in year 10, you may well have set up an account with Seneca Learning, which is an online learning platform that allows you to track your progress and answer questions against key topics. As I said previously, in year 9, you would have been given the opportunity to buy revision guides. The revision guides that we recommend are the CGP ones, and they're listed here. If you now require them, you can purchase them easily off Amazon or other online retailers. On this slide, we're going to go through some hints and tips that we feel in science will really benefit you for your mock exams. A really good start is to practice your timings. You need to have a good pace which allows you to get the time that you need to do the questions. So for instance, if you had a 6-mark question, we would allocate 6 minutes for that question. So 1 mark per minute. That makes sure that you have enough time to answer all the questions in your paper. Obviously, your key source of information and support is going to be through your teachers. So please ask us for help on your hints and tips for revising and any support that you might need. It might be beneficial for you to produce a revision timetable. This will allow you to allocate time set aside specifically for science, but also to plan your revision for your other topics as well. Keeping hydrated is really important to allow your brain function to be at its optimum. The more hydrated you are, the better brain power you have to retain information. So that really helps when we're looking at doing revision for our exams. Another way is to look at only doing small chunks of revision rather than hours and hours of it. It's better normally if you do a 20-minute chunk of revision, step away from it for 5 or so minutes, and then get someone to test you on what you have retained during that 20-minute chunk of revision. You can then easily highlight what you now know and what you now need to revise again. So then in your next 20 chunk minutes of revision, you can just focus on the bits that you still need to retain. Some students find it beneficial to produce revision cards. In science, we suggest that your revision cards are on key terminology and definitions and those essential formula that you need to get those extra marks in your exam. Overall, we obviously are here to support you, and good luck in your exams.